And give her time. I think if you hadn't had time to read the minutes, we'll look over them and need a motion and a second on the last month's minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve last month's minutes. All in favor say aye. Aye. First thing under old business is the City Hall update on the punch list. I talked to Kenneth earlier. Seth's not going to be here tonight either, but he said he talked to Steve, and Steve's still waiting on the weather to break before we can take the windows out of the front office and get that taken care of. Unless, Leslie, you've heard something, anything different? That's what Kenneth told me on that. So, next thing under the old business is disaster grant phase 2. Dean, you got anything on that?
Yeah, they completed the excavation for the wet well, the big wet well, that rock broke out, and they've set the base and 2 of the risers for it, so they're up out of the ground with it. The next thing they do, they've got the concrete base to pour underneath the valve box, and hopefully by the end of, probably the first of next week, they'll be ready to set the box. They're going to pour the concrete for it Wednesday if nothing happens, prepare it tomorrow. It's an 18-inch thick, and 8-foot by 8-foot slab, and then the valve box is set on top of that.
Has all the rain here last, it's kind of wet, ain't it?
Yeah, it's real wet. They had a lot of water. They pumped the water all day today. They didn't get here around lunch today because they'll stop and get some form material. But they've been pumping water. They've got their pumps going down now. The water's down where they can work. They're going to keep the pump going overnight.
Okay.
So they're making some progress right now. Hopefully, we should be looking at probably 3 weeks or so
Completed.
These guys, electricians, and all lined up, so everything's in here to go ahead. The equipment, see the pumps are here, so once they get.
Are they at the, where are they setting the pumps? They at the old City Hall?
Yes, they're at the old city hall. All that stuff is sitting next to the water plant.
Okay.
With their material, their invoice stuff.
Okay. You got anything else on anything?
That's pretty much it.
Next thing under old business, I was gonna bring up the road signs we discussed, last month. Jerry in here? There he is. We got 2 signs up now on Hudson Lane, is that right?
Okay. 2 signs. It was my fault taking one down. They were close together. I figured one at the entrance would be sufficient. That was my fault taking the other one down.
So, but they're up and everything's good now.
They're up. I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
Can I say something about that?
Yes, ma'am.
When there's a speed limit sign on the road, if you drive on that road, that means you.
Right.
It means
Anybody on the.
Anybody that visits, anybody that drives on the road. So nobody should be insulted if they have a speed limit sign.
No. No, ma'am.
But I do believe that the correct way to handle a situation like that, you've got to complain that the board has agreed upon. Come see us. Make an official complaint to us. We can take it under advisement, or we can revise it in the meeting or something, But we don't need
Okay. That's the way I think it should be handled too, so. And I thought that's the way we handle them, but.
Well, I did too, but if we're going to be a body, if we're going to be a board, and we make a motion in a second and we vote on it, then we all should stick together. And it should be, if we want to change it, we can. But I can't go over and take that sign down.
Well, there's nobody in here that can change it. If something's been voted on and passed, nobody in this room can change it. Not me, not anybody. I didn't know the sign had been moved.
Well, I didn't until I got caught.
Well, once it's been voted on by the board, only the board can change it. So I don't know if you've been misled on that somewhere or not, but that's not the way it is.
No, that's the way that I felt like it should be, you know. And the person that came to me about it, he was very upset. You know, he was promised them two signs.
Yeah.
And, or at least ways we accept, you know. But we have no problem whatsoever with anybody coming
Right.
and telling us they have a problem with
No, ma'am,
anything
we've made that pretty clear.
we voted on or said, you know. We can always talk it over.
Anybody else got any comment on that? But the two signs are up now and everything, as far as I know, is good with,
Very good.
okay. Okay. Anything else under old business anybody wants to discuss? Ms. Howe?
I want to commend the board, and I want to commend my neighbor, because it was about 4 or 5 days after
Yes,
I
ma'am.
was here that I haven't seen but 3 or 4 cats at one time. I can deal with that.
Okay.
It's the 30 or 40 I can't deal with it.
Yes, ma'am.
So I commend her and I commend the board.
Well, we appreciate that, and we're glad that the citizens up here can take care of stuff like that too, without us having to interfere with their lives and their day-to-day operation of their own house. So we like to, we do have ordinances that people, if you live in the city, that you have to kind of go by, and we try to keep that enforced. We'd
When
rather.
my dog is no longer there, I had to put him to sleep, so
Oh, well,
that takes care of that.
but we appreciate the citizens coming up and talking to us about their problems and other. So we try to help as much as we can on anything, so.
Well, that helped. I'll be back if it don't.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Okay. Anything else under old business? Mr. Travis White, I guess, I think yours be under old business? Okay, we'll move on to new business here in a minute. Anybody else see, you got anything under old business? Okay. If not, we'll move on to new business. And I don't have anything on the agenda for new business, so Mr. White, if you want, you got the floor. If you want to step up here and.
I'm working on high water bills. I'm not alone. Changed the meter out, and we had a water leak in the box after that. And I talked with Leslie,
Mhm.
and I think they adjusted that to compensate for the month of December. And we had longer days, and I seen my water bill was almost catching up with my electric bill. And it's not that y'all are charging or decreasing rates down there, but it's just that the water bill is going higher. Here's the thing that I found out, and I'm gonna try to make it short, just to eliminate, the sewer issue. We had an increase, I think it was this past month, was it 15% increase in water rates? I'm guessing that I didn't ask that question.
That was actually not last month. It was back in November, or no, from earlier than that. It was the budget, probably July, yeah.
Well, we increased the water rates because of water loss in the system, and the state was, you had to meet state demands for the amount of water you were selling on the
Right.
revenue that you was bringing in.
Yes, sir.
The people, the 169 customers in the city that are on sewer, and I think there's 2 customers outside the city. they got the same rate of increase, I believe that's correct, on their sewer bill as they got on the water bill, percentage-wise. So therefore, if you had let's say you raised it 10%, I think it was 15. Do you remember?
It was 15.
Therefore, the customers that are in the city on sewer, such as Miss you and myself, and you're on sewer. Anyone else on, you're on, or you on sewer? You're on sewer also. We got a 30% increase in our bill. When you look at it that way, now we're not losing sewer. If anything, we're gaining. And your sewer rates and your water rates are under contract with the city of Erin. What we're buying and selling to them. And what they told me down there was the water rates or sewer rates have not changed for several years under the contract.
We're under contract with them, that's right.
Right. And they contracted $1.95 a thousand on water and $1.20 a thousand on sewer. This is when I found out. I thought, well, I'll call other places around me. Tennessee Ridge, we charge $20.41 if you live for 1,500 minimum. The minimum was also lowered to raise revenue from 2,000 to 1,500. Every municipality, I don't care which one you call, the rates was different. Every one of them has a different rate schedule, but they'll all come out pretty close to the same. The one difference I found was in between the customers inside the city. We pay city taxes, and of course we had a tax increase so we could have this facility, and I'm glad we had it. I didn't mind that. I think that we had a city tax increase.
We did a year before, 3 cents. Not this year. We had 3 cents.
But it was before.
3 cents.
Yeah. But anyway, it was a tax increase in the city. The people living in the city are paying city taxes to support, the city. But here's my findings that I'm bringing to you. Here's the point I'm getting to. This is my point. We're charging about 25% more to customers outside the city than we are to the customers inside the city. They pay a higher rate. It's 27.6% more on the first minimum. After that, you go to 503 1,000, 627 1,000. So to cut all the figures down shortly, that comes up to 24.6% more if you live outside the city. So an average would give you about 25% more on your water bill won't cost if you live out of the city than if you live in the city. In Erin, it'll average 50% more if you live out of the city of Erin or if you live in the city of Erin, what they charge these customers outside the city. If you go to Dover, the city of Dover, I'm trying to choose them.
Right. One's close.
People around us that are would be in a similar situation. Dover, you pay 100% more. It's double outside the city than it is in the city. The rates are double. And I can give you the water rates, but you don't need all that. They charge an $8 minimum, period, and then charge you about per 1,000, which would help I thought was pretty neat because if you had elderly people or whatever, they would have lower rates depending on the water usage than someone that would use much more water. In Waverly, their water outside the city is about 60% more. If you take the rates, the basic rate plus the rates they charge after that, you got about 58% more in the city of Waverly. In the city of McKeown, they charge about 50, I use an average there of what they charge on day. It's 50% more to the customers outside the city than the customers inside the city. My point is that in order to, I guess in talking to Jerry, most of it's about 50-50. I mean, they're working on water lines in the city, they're working on leaks in the city, working on leaks outside the city. but they're traveling a lot more outside the city. And I don't know if there's gonna need to be another what rate increase.
Well, I hope not.
I hope not either. I'll be paying more for water than I'm paying for electric, because I can, just me and my wife, we average about 5,200 gallons a month. And, you know, I figure if we had 4 kids still at home, it'd be even higher. So my recommendation is that we need to take a look at the water rate structures and consider raising the rates outside the city, because we're doing them a service for providing them with water. And they're not having to pay city taxes. And that's my point, that's what I'm trying to bring to you tonight, is to work on the rates. We need to, the rates outside the city compared to the rates inside the city are not as much compared to other municipalities around us. We don't have to do like they do in Dover. I know we don't have to do.
Right, I mean, I knew we was, of course, I knew we was higher for the people. You're right about 25%. I figured that's about what we was. I didn't realize the other municipalities was that much higher than us. So, you know, 100% and 50, 60%, that's a whole lot higher than what we are, I mean, compared to them. So. And that may be something we do have to look at when we do look at rates again, which will be pretty soon. I guess they're doing their water, we're doing water audits and all now, ain't we?
Well, we were having to be kind of careful on that, you know, because the state was gonna come in and set the rates.
Yeah.
If we didn't.
I think the state's recommendation was 30% increase, and we went 15. Am I right on that?
And you've got, that's got to verify, it's just gonna put you in the black.
Right. If it don't put us in the black next year, we got to do the other 15. But we can look at getting the 15 on what you're talking about there. I mean, we can look at that.
I didn't feel like it was fair to give customers in the city on the sewer.
No, we try to give them.
An increase, whereas the others only got a 15% increase. But you're just raising revenue because of water loss. We're not losing sewer.
Well, that's been another whole issue too on sewer. But
the sewer issue on some of these grants that had we went down Highway 49, we gained a whole lot more customers, and we went down Longview Lane as well. But that's a different issue.
Well, we're addressing that now. We're addressing some of that with Dean Barge Wagner now. We're looking at future stuff on the sewer.
But that's what I like you to take into consideration. Water rates is let's consider raising the rates in comparison. At least I'd say at least 50% to outside customers, because they're not paying the taxes. We're paying
Right.
the city.
Well, I appreciate you bringing that up, and we've met with the lady with the state, Joyce. We all, yes, and we took her recommendations on the last thing we had in July when we had to go up on the rates, and it kind of, and they're going to look at it again in probably coming up and starting May. They'll look at it again, and if we'll have to definitely look at something like it. We don't want to keep raising. We don't want to raise the water rates, period. But if it's something that we going to have to do, we will definitely take that into consideration.
Right now we're higher than everyone around us.
On water rates. Well, I know Erin's in the same situation we're in, and they're probably fixing to have a rate increase. And Dover's in a worse shape than we're in. They're fixing to have a rate increase too. So they're dealing with the same people we're dealing with. And like I said, the state, you don't want the state to come in and take over your water department. I mean, they was basically going to do it. They was going to come in and take it over. So we will try our best to look at that then. And I appreciate you coming up and bringing that. Dean, you want to add anything on that? Anything I've said, he said, or?
You know, what he said is true.
It's true.
But,
But
you know, no, very few times have I seen two cities with the same rate. Your structures are different.
you got more customers, you got more.
Residents are different, you got different, you know, like you can have a few people outside the city limits.
Right.
They serve the local. You guys have several outside the city that you serve.
Right.
They're sparsely populated, a lot of them are elderly on fixed income.
That's what we don't wanna do is,
You gotta adjust your rates to what fits your community and what
Right.
fits your needs as far as the state's demand on you to say, the line. So, you know, I would take what he said on your advisement and I'd look at it the next time, but I wouldn't let that be the guy.
oh no, I mean, that's something we may have to look at to get more revenue in if we had to. We may have to raise the rates outside the limit on, city limits on not only that, but road boards, water taps, which we did go up anyway, but we may have to go up again.
We won't spread your seats out for you.
Well, we don't want to discuss that.
No, your structure is what you needed at the time, and it probably still is what you need right now. But, and I understand his concern and other people's concern. I live in Jennifer, we just got a 23% property increase.
Yeah,
So, you know,
we just had a tax increase too, property-wise, county-wise. Well, I have had a couple more people approach me about the sewer, but their question was, in the summertime, in the wintertime, they don't have a problem paying their sewer bill, whatever, because the water goes, pretty much they use the water, it goes through the sewer. In the summertime, they was asking if there's any way, like if they wash their cars, water their lawns, fill up swimming pools, if any of that could be adjusted.
Most cities adjust that, is that they will allow you to put another service in at that property. If you want to use that for irrigation, you want to use that for water your car, you want to use that for water your food. Because there's no way for you to know how much water they use to wash the car, so you can't take the sewer off there. If they're filling a swimming pool, you could give them a one-time adjustment for swimming that pool, filling that pool. If they tell you how much, give them the size of the pool, so you can figure the water, and you give them that big done. But you do that one time a year, not
Right.
every time they have to have water to the pool. There's some things you can do there to sort of adjust that. The most favorable way to the city is say, you know, say another meter. You can buy another water meter, we'll put the tap in, and you can irrigate your lawn and do your filtering out of that, we'll leave that meter. And it has nothing to do with what we charge the city. That's
Cost them another water tap.
Yeah, they're gonna get a minimum bill.
Everyone.
Yeah, everyone.
So, I mean, the cost of that way
Except,
itself.
now, they can have that one cut off during the winter, you don't charge them during the winter, that one is locked off. But during the summer months, when they use it, you're paying the minimum bill plus the water. But yeah, there's ways to take good of all those.
Do we do that with people, pools or anything?
So
We,
it's-
okay,
we don't charge the sewer rates, we charge the water rates.
for that one time?
Well, we actually, if they have a problem, they have to refill it up, and, you know, a liner has to
Okay.
go, we'll do it
Okay.
again. If it's a little amount,
Right.
it just depends on how much it is.
Well, washing a car or something is not gonna be that much.
I don't think so.
Now, watering a garden, if you water a garden all night, I just maybe that, but,
I mean, seeing that we're already under advisement from the state, I don't think they would recommend us,
no,
you know, not charging a sewer fee.
No,
you
they're
know,
not
trying
gonna-
to adjust the bill, because
no,
there's
she's
no
not
way
gonna,
that's going up.
she's not gonna go with that. I can tell you the answer to that. It's no.
You know, and then you have car washes, if they don't want the water, but they can go to Flamingos and get a car wash.
Right.
Yeah.
Sort of found in a period of years, when I had, there was 4 of us in my house, and we used about 7,200 gallons of water a month, 7 to 75 on every. I had one daughter for all college, we still use 72 to 75 on a gallon a month. She got married and moved away, and the second one in college, and I'm still using 7,000, 7,500 gallons.
Are they reading the meter?
Oh, God, I'm still using 7,000. Now you figure that.
Well, you know, every time you get a washing machine, that takes a heck of a lot of water. And every time you flush the commode, that's 7 gallons right there. So, it all depends on how clean you
Yeah.
want to be.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good, we just used 50 gallons for water.
Yeah.
That's what y'all use.
Oh, Lord, I got, mine's more like 8. Them grand youngins, yeah.
I wash my cars every Saturday.
They stay in a tub. Well, I was asked about the,
Just take it off on Saturday night.
so maybe, I don't know if they were swimming, filling up the pool or what, but I'll tell them just to get with you when they do, when they start the pool.
We need to go get a reading on the meter, and then when we're finished, we'll go get another reading.
Okay.
And then I'll take that usage and I'll discharge water, and it comes off the sewer bill.
Right, okay. And I think that's fair, so.
Been doing that for years? I've been here 25, and we've been doing it ever since.
Well, evidently they didn't know that, so. Anything else on the new business? See, you got anything? Anybody got anything? Jerry?
Unless y'all got a question.
I don't know of. I hear a motion to adjourn. Motion, have a motion. Have a motion and second, all in favor say aye. Aye. We're adjourned.
Good morning, Bill.
Well, good morning there, Mr. Michael. How you doing, young man?
Fine.
I tell you, you're looking good for your shape. I had to get one in first, so I know he's gonna try to do it anyway. Anyway, it's so good to be back with you again, and I really appreciate the invite. We're gonna be doing a lot of the old country songs, and we hope we do one or two that you like. And Leon Everett did this one, and that'll start us out here. I love it when you're with me, walking with me all of the time. Nothing like the searching for the satisfied need of mine. I don't want to share you now with someone who thinks that you're fair. Talking how long you holding back the right up for but it's hard not to let it show every time I see you unfold. When I see you and hardly pretend I'm not there. I think I'll always be what you think is fair. Look a little harder again. That's all that I'm asking. I know that that's not everything. But I love you. Walk with me all of the time. Just like the searching for the satisfied need of mine. I don't want to share you now, someone thinks we should can. Something how long you can do what you think is fair. Look a little harder again. That's all that I'm asking. I know that in all the not everything, but I love it with you, holding me all of the time. Just like the turkey for it, satisfied for me of mine. I don't want to share you now with someone who thinks it's okay. Talking how long you can do what you think is fair. Talking how long you can do what you think is fair. Hey, I know you're ready to get to where you come with. Appreciate it so much, thank you. And I got my wife with me again today. She told me what to do. earlier, she told me where to go. I crossed the weeping willow, I cried, I took the cloud out of cover, up clear blue sky. The years I traveled alone, no blood in me. I know that blood is dry. I really like to live in St. Paul, so don't be up every time I heard that draw southern draw. Well, when my dream went back down street, back there in Fort, I thought you knew ruin us all. I saw the weeping willow, I cried where I fell. I took the cloud out of cover, way up clear blue sky. The years I spent alone, no blood in the room. I'm gonna let it die. I die. Johnny Cage! Mama got pulled over last night. You never did believe it looking at her, you know, by the police. That's who pulled her over, the police. Wanted to know why she was drinking. And she said, because of me.
Oh, I can understand that.
And so she answered my question, you know, so we'll just drop it at that. We're getting ready to come over here though this morning, and I said, I better get the car around, get it warmed up, and get loaded and go. And she said, the car won't start. And I said, what do you mean the car won't start? She said, there's water in the carburetor. Now, we live out on a hill that's 2 miles high. I said, how in this world could there be water in the carburetor? Where's the car at? She said, in the swimming pool. Conway Twitty did this song. There's a lot of ways to say what I want to say to you. Songs and poems and promises and dreams that might come true. But I won't cause the starry sky. Look all on the ground. Come right out and tell me I just love to lay you down. Lay you down and softly whisper, pretty love for me. Lay you down and tell you all the things I want to hear. I'll let you know how much it means just having you around. Oh, darling, now I'd love to lay you down. There's so many ways to sweet love, make this house into a home. You got a way of doing little things that turn me on. Like dancing in the kitchen, in your faded cotton gown. With your hair all up and curly, I still love to lay you down. Lay you down and softly whisper, pretty love wanna hear you read. Lay you down and tell me all the things my woman loves to hear. I'll let you know how much it means having you around. Oh, darling, how me, patting you around. Oh, darling, how I'd love to lay down. Oh, darling, how I'd love to lay down. Mr. Conway Twitty. I'm fooling around a little bit with some songs this morning, and anyway, Barb got on to me about something, and I told her, I said, just one more word out of you, and I'm leaving. She said, give me a hint as to what it is. I figured Mike would like that. We'll try it anyway. If tears are freezing and heartache will go, I have all the treasures I want to know. I feel so wealthy with treasures untold. If tears are freezing and heartache will go, and nature of diamonds I'd offer to you, a solid romance as we are two. This whole world is to have and to hold. If tears are freezing and holidays will go. Need to sing a guitar on that, don't you? I bet you one here. Burl Haggard did this. But it's a holiday song, sweet and I was trying to keep it alive. I've been a working man, dang you all my life, gone working. Gone drinking and a bit too deep. I'll drink a little bit of cabin, drink a little bit of them working men. It'll keep my nose dry, so hard hard every day. I get a little tired on the weekend after I'm gonna play. I'll go back working. Come Monday morning, I'm right back with the crew. I'll drink a little bit of cabin, drink a little bit of them working men. If we had working man like me, ain't never know well, they have to take one more beat, I'll be working. Till I get the brand new shoes. I'll drink a little bit of cabin, drink a little bit of them working men. There's some kind of my baby, a little roaming around. Throw my bills out the window, and drink another down. I go back working. God, I get the brand new shoes. Drink a little bit of cabin, drink a little bit of them working men. Drink a little bit of cabin, drink a little bit of them working men. Somebody asked me this morning out here, was talking, and wanted to know where I was from. Actually, I was raised down by Buena Vista, Tennessee. If anybody knows where that's at, that's outside of Huntington. At Hollow Rock, you kind of turn out there that way and go to Dollar and Holiday and so forth. But anyway, we was poor. I mean, tell you, in fact, we would eat dried beans for breakfast and drink water and bloat for dinner. So, it was bad. I got my angel on my mind, that's why I'm home. There's something ain't so hard, I ain't talking. my world. Leave your cares behind. Welcome to my world. Love with you in mind. Locked in a door, seeking you will find. Asking you to be the key to this world of mine. I'll be waiting here with my arms undone, waiting just for you. Welcome to my world. Love is burning and it makes the fire burn. Down by water, I fell into the fire. I fell into burning the fire. Down, 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 that flame went higher. Burn, 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 burning the fire, burning the fire. The fate of love is true, and all that I do. I fell for you like shell, cold as fire and water. I fell into burning the fire, and down, 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 and went higher. Burn, 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 burning the fire, burning the fire. I fell into burning the fire, down, 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 and flame went higher. Burn, 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 burning the fire, burning the fire, burning the fire. Oh, here's one that I always like to mess up. Not intentionally, you know. I was out somewhere down here the other day. My son Walker works for Jack Melton and Mark, and I was trying to find him back there on one of them old country roads. I'm running down the road about 20, 25 miles an hour, an old gravel road, and I seen something moving alongside my car going down the ditch. And I looked down, and it was a chicken. I thought, that chicken's running 25 miles an hour, how can it do that? But it didn't look right, and I looked down, this chicken had 3 legs. I thought, now this is weird. So I punched the little old Suzuki a little bit, got it about 30 miles an hour, and the old chicken pulled up out of the ditch and was running right alongside my door, 30 miles an hour. I said, now come on, 3-legged chicken running 30 miles an hour? So I kicked it up to 35. Old chicken run right outside the door. Just before it got to a farmer's driveway, that chicken passed me, went across the road and up in that yard. No, I was born and raised on the farm. I never seen anything like this, so I stopped, backed up, went up to the farmer, and he was sitting on the front porch, and I said, am I crazy, blind, or just what's wrong with me? But I said, I seen a 3-legged chicken pass me at 35 miles an hour. Oh, he said, yeah, he said, we've got a whole backyard full of them. I said, really? He said, yeah, my wife and I, we just love drumsticks. So we started crossbreeding, and we've got about 200 3-legged chickens out back. And he said, well, how do they taste? He said, well, I don't know, never caught one yet. But it gets deeper later. We'll try this one. Well, people say I'm no good, crazy as a loon. Get on in the morning, get on in the afternoon. don't like the way I'm living, just leave it long as I belong. Yeah, big man talking on the radio, selling rock and roll. Won't be doing them a donation, all the words about my soul. He can be good, walk on the water, I know that it's true. Sometimes I think that preacher man might do a little walking too, but I ain't asking nobody to know. I can't get it on my own. You don't like the way I'm living, just leave it alone at the door alone. Well, the poor mother girl wants to marry, rich man wants to flirt. Old man goes back to work, this ain't no luck. Daughter wants another drink of wine with a politician on the road. I don't want nothing nothing dog, but I will take a little bit of coke, and I ain't asking nobody to know. I can't get it on my own. You don't like the way I'm living, just leave it alone, let it go alone. You don't like the way I'm living, just leave it alone, let it go alone. Oh, we buried my grandfather the other day, 104 years old. He started drinking though when he was about 12, and he would drink a pint a day of old moonshine. Time he was 15, he was up to about a quart a day, and time he was 40, he was drinking a gallon of moonshine a day. And everybody in the family kept saying, Grandpa, it's going to kill you. You can't drink like that. Well, it killed him. He died the other day at 104. He drank a gallon of white lightning a day. But he wanted to be cremated. And they throwed a match in there and he burned for the next 4 days. If I pull out it, we're rolling out of it. I'll hit one of the people running like never before. That speed's gonna hit alright. I don't get caught inside. If they're gonna run that, I'm gonna make it home tonight. Well, I got 10 years to the door and overdrive. I'll take a little rifle and my eyes will run wide. They'll take it in their white. Pack everything inside. If they don't know, they're gonna make it home tonight. Well, it seems like I'm on to get my baby alive. I got a lot of other men, but my wife's on all the guys. I can live on the whole thing tight. And make it alright. If they don't know, then I'm gonna make it home tonight. I think taking on down the line. I'll live overweight and my log goes way behind. That's gonna bother me tonight. I'm not gonna feel alright. If they don't know, then I'm gonna make it home tonight. Well, leave me alone with that old engine slow. Flames on the stack blowing, most likely as smoke. All time coming inside, people think I'm having you right. If they're gonna run, then I'm gonna make it home tonight. Yes, if they don't run, then I'm gonna make it home tonight. He didn't make it like that, but I did. We're at Camden, Tennessee, where where I was raised mostly, in Huntington. But anyway, we were down there outside of Huntington the other day watching a blacksmith he was working. And I tell you, they amaze me how they can heat steel and do wonders with it. It really does. But anyway, he was making horseshoes, and he pulled this one out of the fire and he shaped it. That thing is red hot, and of course, you know you're supposed to cool them. He stuck it in the water and throwed it out the dirt in front of the door. About that time, a seed slicker walked by and seen that horseshoe laying there. He reached down and picked it up. Blacksmith said, hot, huh? He said, no, it don't take me long to look at a horseshoe. That's bad. Here's a waltz in case you want to do it. That's green. There goes my only possession. There goes my everything. I hear footsteps slowly walk as they gently walk across the lonely road. And the Lord is softly saying, darling, this will be goodbye forevermore. There goes my reason for living. There goes the one of my dreams. There goes my only possession. There goes my everything. As my men turn back the page, I can see the happy years we had before. Now the
right now.
that every heartbeat has been shattered by the closing of a door. There goes my reason for living. There goes the one of my dreams. There goes my only possession. There goes my everything. This is that I can probably say that that's probably one of the best friends that I had. Him and I toured together. We worked together with Grand Ole Opera a lot together, and it broke my heart when I lost him. But we know where he's at. He's with the Heavenly Father, so he's probably better off than, well, I know he's better off than we are. But if Barb doesn't learn to cook, I'm going to be joining him. Her cooking is so bad that last week the flies got together and put up a door so they couldn't get in. That's how bad it is. Don Gibson did this song. Pretty song, too. He sang a good song. I'll try. I can't stop loving you, so I made up my mind. Sometimes I can't stop wanting you. It's useless to say. Oh, I just live my life in dreams of yesterday. Those happy hours that we once knew. I forget. Willard, you'd have to know him. But anyway, down where I was raised at down there, you got baptized on Sunday in a creek. And it was Big Sandy. Some of you may know where the Big Sandy River's at down by Buena Vista, Tennessee. Well, that's where we got baptized. My brother wasn't much on church. And so there's a big Sunday baptizing going on down there. And preacher baptizing them just fast he could get them in the water. And Willard come down the creek. He'd been out all night with his buddies tilting the white lightning. And he's standing up there on the edge of that, watching the baptizing, reeling back and forth, just drunk as a skunk. Finally, that Baptist preacher looked up and seen him. And he said, "Get in here, Willard." Willard goes wading out there in that creek. And he grabbed him and stuck him up on the water, pulled him back up, and he said, "Did you find Jesus?" And Willard said, "No." He stuck him back under and held him a little longer that time. He pulled him back up. He said, "Did you find Jesus?" And he said, "No." He stuck him back on. He held him that time. Boy, Willard's under there kicking and splashing and carrying on. Finally, the preacher pulled him back up. Willard, he said, "Did you find Jesus?" Willard said, "No, you sure he fell in here?" That was our little bluegrass. Barb looked up at me and grinned. You probably didn't catch it, but I missed my D chord. It goes to G, E minor, A, D. Bill, pay attention to what you're doing. I always like to incorporate gospel into what I do because without the big boss man upstairs, our Father, we wouldn't have another breath. So I always like to recognize him in anything that I do, but I love doing gospel songs anyway. So here's one that we used to sing down here in Old Pleasant Hill Church where I went. And if you know the song, just kind of join in there and help out. On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, big symbol of suffering. And I love that old cross where the dearest and death for a world of lost sinner was slain. So I carry your rugged cross, and my hope is that last I lay So I cherish the old rugged cross. Till my trophies are the last I lay down, I will cling to the old rugged cross and get shaded someday for a beautiful song. I've been picking at my wife all day. Shouldn't do that. Actually, she told me this morning right after breakfast that I was the food of her life. Actually, what she said, you bet it had a belly full of me, son. Oh, we had a fight over fixing coffee this morning. I told her, hurry up and fix me a pot of coffee. No, you fix the coffee. I said, look, woman, kitchen, woman, coffee pot, make it. She said, no, men make the coffee. Now, Mike, pay attention. Okay. She said, it says so in the Bible. Now, I know the Bible very well, and I've never seen it where a man has to fix coffee. She went and got my Bible out of my office, come in there, opened it up, and it said, Hebrews. Johnny Cash, at my door the leaves are falling, the cold wild wind will come, sweetheart, we're walking together, and I still miss someone. I go out to all the parties and look for a little fun, but I find the dark and lonely, 'cause I still miss someone. I never got over life. I see them everywhere. I miss those arms that held me when all the love was there. I wonder if she's sorry for leaving what we've begun. That someone for me somewhere, and I still miss someone, and I still miss someone. Mr. Johnson. Oh, we were down in Nashville, downtown the other night, and there was a blind person down there with a seeing eye dog, and come up to the red light, and the dog just walked him across the street, boy, and there was cars sliding and screaming and stopping and trying to keep from killing somebody, and him and his dog. And he gets on the other corner over there, and he reached in his pocket and took out a dog biscuit and was holding it down, and the guy standing there said, what is wrong with you, man? He said, that dog walked you across the red light and almost got you killed, and you're going to give him a reward. He said, no, I'm trying to find out where his hind end's at so I can kick him. Tennessee Ernie Ford. Way out born one morning, sun didn't shine. Big little girl that I walked to the mine. 16 ton, armor 9 gold, and a draw ball too. Well, I miss my photo 16 ton. Boy, it's another day over and deeper in there. Here I'm going, I can't go. Oh, my Lord, somebody's gold. Some 40 lovely old red people in there. Figured I'm gonna go, I can't go, I go. I born one morning with prison rain, like and go our lives and rain. Baby, didn't wear mine, oh mama, I ain't hide no walk the line. 40 another day over that paper in bed. Figured I was gonna go, I can't go, I go. I shouldn't tell this, but Barb and I, at our age and everything, we decided to spice life a little bit, so we went and bought us a water bed. And I got in the water bed, and she got in the water bed, and it froze up. Hello. I toured with Billy Walker quite a bit. This was absolutely a saint of a man. He really was. He was just a super nice guy. And of course, a great singer. Willie Nelson wrote this song and recorded it. And Billy did it and made a super hit with it. And I enjoy singing the song, whether I do a good job or not. Well, hello there. It's been a long time. How am I doing? Oh, I guess that I'm doing fine. Been so long now, but it seems now it was only yesterday. She ain't as funny. A time slips away. How can you love? I hope that he's good mind. Heard you told him that you loved him until the end of time. Now that's the same thing that you told me. Seemed like just the other day. He ain't as funny, the time slips away. Well, gotta go now. I guess I'll see you around. Don't know when though, don't know when I'll be back in town. But remember what I tell you, that in time you're gonna pay, and it's surprising how time slips away. He ain't as funny, how time slips away. Mr. Billy Walker. Try to get a couple more in here, I guess, before we... I haven't done nothing like this for a while, so we'll just do it. I'm dragging darkness. Now I live where I'll be grateful back, thinking I'm in coffee. They're gonna drink me coffee and go drink me love, but I know I had to do it. I know I can't please you, but that brings you to rolling. That's a fortune, baby. They drink from the tree, the river full of money. How did I do it all? Going down the line, all the golden bridge. That's what I want to do. That brings you to rolling. That's a fortune, baby. You didn't see him back there dancing, did you? Oh, he's good. Got no reason now to go home. All my reason now is gone. So I thought that I always got no reason now to go home. Once I had everything like a woman. Don't hold me like love, I don't. So I end up in here each night, saying things. It's enough taking him brain. Got no reason now to go at home. All my reason now is gone. Got no one there to talk to. It's no one who I walk in. Got no reason now to go at home. It's so hard now just knowing there's another that she's out with him, knowing I love her. So I end up in here each night, begging and thinking. It's enough taking him crazy. Got no reason now to go at home. All my reason now she's gone. Got no one there to listen. It's no one who I walk in. Got no reason now to go at home. It's so hard now just knowing there's another that she's out with him, knowing that I love her. So I end up in here each night, sitting and thinking. It's enough taking him crazy. Got no reason now to go at home. All my reasons now he's gone. Got no one there to talk to. There's no one no help. Got no reason now to go at home. Got no reason now to go at home. Well, we got about time for one more kind of gospel, and we're going to have to get out of here. This is what we got here real quick. I should do another No Johnny Cash song here. I keep a close watch on the heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep seeing my poor child crying. Think of your mind. I walk alone. I find it very, very easy to do. I find myself alone. keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep reading out for the God divine. Lord, you're mine. I walk the line. Lord, you're mine. I walk the line. Thank you so much. Okay, we're gonna have to get out of here. Yeah. So don't throw me out. Where's that? There it is. We're gonna close out with the gospel, and which I always love to do, because as we're all well aware, if it wasn't for the big boss man upstairs, we don't get another breath. And we definitely, if we don't get another breath, then we definitely want to be sure that we're prepared to do that up there too, aren't we? So. This one here, Farland Husky recorded and also wrote. And I guess it's one of the biggest songs that he had out in spite of all the other hits that he had. Anyway, with this one we'll be closing, and I'd like to say I thank you so much, and God bless each and every one of you, and we'll see you again real soon, okay? Farland Husky, Wings of a Dove. On the wings of a snow white dove, it's in this good dream of a sign from above. On the wings of a dove, when trouble surrounds and evil comes, the body grows weak, spirit grows numb. When they think that he doesn't forget, he sings down his love on the wings of a dove. On the wings of a snow white dove, he sings this good sweet love, a sign from above. On the wings of a dove. When Noah prayed on the flood day, he searched for land in various ways. Trouble he had, but wasn't forgotten. God sent down his love on the wings of a dove. On the wings of a snow white dove, he sings with good sweet love, a sign from above. On the wings of a dove, he sent down his love on the wings of a dove. Thank you so much. God bless you. See you again. Bye-bye.
Ray was a dancing, wasn't he?
How you doing? Hey, young man. Hey, Bill. Bill.
She wants some colors to go.
Hey, you took her old studies, wasn't you?
Meter replacement to replace a lot of water meters that have way over what we consider the amount of gallons on them, where they should have already been replaced. And we use radio-free meters, which will save the city money in time and fuel and labor costs. Labor costs won't help the water loss, but it'll help the city in overall money savings, which we talked about that. Excuse me, well, some of you weren't on the board back when we talked about it a year or two ago, but anyway, rural development, I'm not saying they encourage the city to apply for this loan and grant, but they certainly welcomed it when we first talked about it. And that's how it all came about. So we will probably
bid it this spring and start work on it and finish it this year. Now, also, there's monies in it beside the radio read meters to put in zone meters in certain parts of the system, but you do have a very large spread out system to monitor the flow in certain areas to see where your water is going, and so therefore see where you may have see where you might have leaks that you didn't see where there might be water going that you don't know where you might not know where it's going, to check and see if there might be leaks in an area you didn't know about. That's what these zone meters will do. And it'll come back to a central computer that will be located here at City Hall, in which you will be able to monitor to see where your water is going, and you'll be able to monitor your water tanks and have a better capability of seeing where your water is going from the time it leaves the water plant, and make sure you're not overflowing tanks and losing water that way. You have a better feel from the water from the time it leaves the plant and it goes through the individual water meters. But we've got to get the water loss down, and that's what this is all about. But this is the first draft set of the automatic water meter reading. That's what this loan grant is about. So I can never take that much time to explain it, but that's what it's all about. And it is a loan and grant, but hopefully it's a definite payback. Now, it also has some money in there for a rehabilitation of the million-gallon water storage tank. Put some money in there for that. We can't do it just yet. We talked about this and talked about it. We're not going to do it until the city has a deed for the property that tank sits on. We felt like we've always owned that water tank from day one, but it's not over to the city, therefore we don't own the land it sits on, so we're trying to work that out. So that's why we've never done any real work on the tank. It needs some work done on it, but it's kind of hard to work on a tank that you don't have full total and full working on that. So trying to hold off on that until we get the land tank sets. It really does need some work.
What's the total on that, please, sir?
Total on the loan?
I saw the 870.
$1.2 million. We don't know the exact numbers until it's all bid out and different things. That will determine the exact numbers, but it's going to be right around there.
It's gonna be kind of like $57,276, is that correct?
The total interest will be $57,276 for the total payment. That'll be the principal plus interest.
Revenues, if the case happened that we were to default, we'd be in the situation we're in right now with the state. They would require us to raise our water rates. Rural development requires that to be in there just in case, for whatever reason, we said we're not raising the water rates, we're just not going to pay that loan. Then we would have to levy a tax on that. But of course, that would never happen. I had her look back. Every water sewer revenue bond that we've had has had the same terminology in it.
But they're just like any other lending institution. They want their guarantees. So that's why it's put in there. To guarantee they get their money.
This is the first public hearing on this. Does it require a second public hearing?
It will.
Okay. Because I was looking in the paper to make sure we had that correct. And that notice said, public notice at 6 o'clock. So my thinking
Did it
is
say
maybe
6?
it does. Maybe some people may not realize it was at 5:30. I see you have it posted on the door, but that's my concern about it. And if we move forward with this tonight and vote on it tonight, does that go ahead and ensure that we're gonna start taking bids and doing all that?
There has to be one more hearing, right? Yes. And actually, if the newspaper said 6, you might want to just roll it over.
Yeah,
just to
we
make
could-
sure we're in.
We can
compliance.
always, if we have people that come in, I don't mind discussing it after 6, you know.
I just saw that and, it is posted on the door out there at 5:30 and that was my
But
concern.
what was in the paper
It's
is,
6 o'clock.
that's what we have to go by, is what is in the paper,
And I was
because it has
thinking
to be
that maybe,
certified.
maybe just put that in there, just saying we were having a regular meeting, but it did say public.
No. You're correct.
It
It's,
says 6 o'clock.
But we can roll this over if we have to, if we have people here that we feel like they come in and that's what they're here for. I don't mind hearing a public input.
more for information. More for information.
Any other questions or comments?
Just leave it open until.
If there's no other comments or questions, what we can do is we'll wait and see if anyone comes in, and we'll kind of just roll it over just a little bit. we will start our regular meeting at 6. We will close the public hearing after we discuss the motions. That way, if anybody comes in, there's any public input, that's when we will close our public hearing. So we will leave it open as we're doing the meeting.
I'll just pretend I'm still sitting.
We thank you, God, for all these servants who give of themselves freely to work and protect our community and offer a service that enables us to enjoy a life based on freedom, based on love, and just being a good neighbor. And I thank you for all these dedicated people who come to ensure that we work together to have that kind of community, Lord, that we can all be proud of. Bless each and every one of them and their families together, and bless this meeting together. In Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Thank you, sir. Calling the meeting to order. Can I get a roll call?
Alderman Lockhart. Alderman Pollard.
Here.
Alderman Ligon.
Here.
Alderman Baggett.
Here.
Alderman Owens.
Here.
Alderman Mitchell.
Here.
Alderman Gooden.
Here.
Alderman Beecham.
Here.
Mayor.
Here. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes? Y'all had a chance to look at over those?
Motion to approve minutes.
We have a motion by PJ and a second by Ms. Beecham. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. I don't know if y'all have seen it or not, but we do have the co-op building that's been knocked down, and we're going to have to do just a little bit more over there, but it is really looking nice. Looks really good. We also have some flags that Representative Reedy has donated to us. These are Tennessee flags. He's unable to be here tonight because the legislature is in session, but he has asked Ms. Fish to read something on his behalf. So.
Thank you for allowing me the honor of donating this flag to the city of Erin, and thank you for being here today. In every generation since our nation's founding, Americans have come together to symbolize the moral fortitude, resolve, strength, and hope for all who believe in freedom and democratic values. There is no doubt that Tennessee, symbolized by our glorious flag, would not be the beacon of freedom and democracy it is today without the foresight of our founding fathers and the unwavering patriotism of every generation that has come before us. Our state and country were born in battle, and they have survived and prospered because Americans have always been willing to defend the ideals and principles that make the United States of America the greatest country in the world. God bless our state and country, and may our flag forever wave above us. Jay Reedy, State Representative, District 74.
Thank you. I'm going to get Mr. Hires to talk just a second about the generator, the update on that. If you could do that for us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I brought the generator contracts back down today and left them with Ms. Lori. The contractor has placed an order for the generators, and I would suspect, I didn't talk to him today, but I would expect him within the next 30 days to start work on preparing the sites for the generators, so when they, it'll probably take about, excuse me, about 45 days or so. He will give me a delivery date on them, but it'll take about 45 to 60 days to get the actual generators delivered. And what he will want to do is have the sites all ready for the to install the generators as soon as they get here. So I would expect to have probably as soon as this weather halfway straightens out, to expect a crew here to start preparing the sites. Now, one thing he's got to do along with preparing the sites is the Highway 49 pump station roof has got to be replaced on that pump station. So hopefully he'll do that within the next 30 days too, because it really does need it, has needed for a long time. So he'll be doing that too. So, but Lori, I'll let you and Philip know just as soon as he lets me know the schedule. But he does have a contract, and I suspect he's got them on order, and as soon as I get a delivery date, I'll let you know when that is. So.
Thank you, sir.
And as I told you this afternoon, the Corps does have the archaeological report on the intake, between the intake and the river. They didn't find anything, and as soon as they give us the go-ahead, we'll get that ready to bid. The new line that goes out in the river, and the new pumps, and the raw water intake. So hopefully we can get that ready to bid this spring as well.
And that's for the water treatment facility, bringing water into the plant.
Yeah, that's the other part of that $1 million grant with no local share. That's all part of that disaster grant.
Thank you, sir.
With no match, no local match. It's all grant. Thank you.
We also have on display a sign that's right here leaning up. This is for the ponytails. We did the resolution here, I think, December. So then we have the signs now. They'll be going up on the city limits. Under new business, we have Shamrock Spirits has requested for a certificate of compliance. Do y'all have any questions or concerns about that? You have been provided in your packet the letters of recommendation, a copy of it, or I'm sorry, the bank letters of reference, a copy of the application, and are there any questions about that? If there are no questions about that, we will need a motion to grant the certificate of compliance to Shamrock Spirits. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay. All right, we've got a motion resolution to approve Resolution 2/1/2015 and 2/2/2015. These are concerning the water improvements. At this time, I'll hear any concerns from the audience if they have any questions or anything about the water improvements or concerns. This is for a loan grant combination. The loan part for the city is $879,000. Do I have any questions from the audience or concerns?
What are they going to improve?
This will be to do meter change out within the system, to put some master meters in so that we can do see where the flow of water is to certain areas of the county to check for water leaks. And we also will be looking at adding leak detectors on every third meter, put a leak detector on it, and some water tank improvements.
Are they going to do anything about increasing the water pressure?
That will not be on this, no. Of course, the less leaks you have, if we find leaks, that does increase your water pressure. But as far as anything that's specifically for Water leaks, no. I mean, water pressure, I'm sorry. It'll be a lot for leak detection, but not water pressure.
Man, where are some of our leaks that we anticipate that
Well, some of the water will be in the older meters, and a lot of our meters have been in the ground for years. As the meter gets used, it wears, and so there may not be per se a leak, but there's a loss of water that's red. So you have a revenue loss there because you're not getting a correct reading. And then the leak detectors that could be added to the line, they use the sound, the flow, and they can tell that there's a leak. If the flow doesn't change, or if it, within a certain time frame, it can detect a leak that way.
Do you get very many calls of just leaks just happening in the community? And if you do, how quickly? I know you're
Well, it depends on, interestingly enough, I've had people come in the pizza place and tell me, I think I've got a leak. So I do get some, we get some here at City Hall. We had a bad one just a few weeks ago in front of Farm and Feed, or going on 149, and that was a 8-inch line, I believe, and it was really leaking. So there was a lot of water. But I mean, there are smaller leaks, service lines that leak. If we are notified, if we find out about them, sometimes there's a loss of water pressure. That's, when people call you and they start saying, hey, we have no water. But the smaller leaks, they may leak for a little bit. The one gentleman that came to me, he did not call up here. He came in and said, I've been noticing a wet spot for a while now. And we didn't know, And the leaks like that, I mean, yes, they're not as big, but they do mount up over time. And hopefully the leak detectors would help in that. Are there any other questions?
Okay, I wasn't on the board, but y'all increased the water rates and sewer rates. And for the water was $60,000 they were supposed to make, and $20,000. What did y'all actually do with that money when you raised the water and the sewer rates?
It is went to offset cost and used to maintain the system. Some of it, of course, fortunately now and there's a lot of things that are direct yet indirect. I mean, when we go out and read the meters, you use fuel to drive your trucks to read the meters. Gas is down now, fortunately, but I mean, it has been much higher. I know budget year, we had to anticipate a little bit more gas usage, repairs on equipment. One year we spent $24,000 getting the backhoe repaired. So some of that is, maintenance and upkeep of the equipment.
Okay, what about salaries? When you put all this, I'm just getting back into this. You put the salaries in there, and they used to put a lot of the salaries into the water. Would that help if we move some of the salaries out into another department? Would that help any of this?
I think it's been floated around pretty well now. I mean, I know that some of it is only in water, but for the most part, I think a lot of it, if it can be justified, of course, we have to justify anything that we do in that aspect. If it can be justified, in other words, if they do some in parks and recreation, we put them in that. If they're, if it's something for streets, we allocate some of the monies to that, so that comes out of general instead of water. And we've tried to do that quite a bit.
I was just thinking this is a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, but we do have some much needed improvements. And I think we have a meter change-out policy that we're supposed to be doing, and that would help us do that. If there's no questions from the audience, I will close the public hearing, but we will continue with our meeting. And are there any other questions? If not, we will need a motion. Well, I actually need to I want to have reading of Resolution 2/1/2015. 2/1/2015 is a more basic. It does tell you what the initial amount is. 2/2/2015 goes into much more depth of how it's to be paid back. I would like to get Resolution 2/1/2015 read at this time.
Initial resolution authorizing the issuance of general obligation bonds by the City of Erin, Tennessee, in a par amount not to exceed $879,000 to finance waterworks system improvements and extensions and related costs. Be it resolved by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of the City of Erin, Tennessee, that for the purpose of financing waterworks system improvements and extensions and related costs, the municipality shall issue bonds in a par amount not to exceed $879,000, which shall bear interest at a rate or rates not to exceed the maximum rate permitted by Tennessee law, and which shall be payable from revenues of the water and sewer system, and in the event such revenues are insufficient, therefore, from ad valorem taxes to be levied on all taxable property within the municipality. Be it further resolved by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of the municipality that the recorder is hereby directed to cause this initial resolution to be published once in full in a newspaper having a general circulation to the municipality, together with the following statutory notice. The foregoing resolution has been adopted, unless within 20 days from the date of publication hereof, a petition signed by at least 10% of the registered voters of the municipality shall have been filed with the recorder protesting the issuance of the bonds. Such bonds may be issued as proposed. Be it further resolved by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of the municipality that this initial resolution shall take effect from and after its adoption, the welfare of the municipality requiring.
Okay, that's Resolution 2/1/2015. Y'all have had an opportunity to read Resolution 2/2015. If you would like to make a motion to pass those together, waiving the reading of 2/2/2015, you may do that.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2/1/2015 and resolution 2/2/2015.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We have a motion and a second. We're going to do a roll call vote.
Alderman Beecham. Motion to approve Resolution 2/1/2015 and 2/2/2015. Alderman Beecham.
Gonna vote no at this time.
Alderman Gooden.
Yes.
Alderman Mitchell.
Yes.
Alderman Owens.
Yes. Yes.
Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Alderman Ligon.
Yes.
Alderman Pollard.
Yes.
Alderman Lockhart.
No.
6 yes, 2 no, motion carries.
All right. Up next, we have a motion to approve Resolution 2/3/2015. This is a resolution that will have a public hearing at a later date, which will be at 6:30 at City Hall on February 17th. This will be in conjunction with the county. This is monies that have been set aside. It's grant money to rehab or make houses within the county and city more up to code. It could be handicap accessible or just rehabbing. It's not rebuilding houses, but it is rehabbing.
I'm sorry, what was the date for that meeting?
It is February 17th at 6:30. This is a public hearing for input from the people. It is done in conjunction with the county. Could you read 2/3/2015?
Resolution in support of fiscal year 2015 THDA home grant applications. Whereas funds are available through the State of Tennessee Home Program, and whereas the City of Erin wishes to improve housing within the town, and whereas the City of Erin may apply for home funds in an amount not to exceed $500,000. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of City Council of Erin that application be made for home funds for housing improvements, and that Paul Bailey, Mayor, be authorized to sign the application and all assurances necessary to filing said application.
Are there any questions concerning this resolution? If not, go ahead.
You said it was for the city, but the county's involved in it. Is it going to be city and county?
I think they're doing one also.
They're doing one. Okay.
But the public hearing will go in together, but they have their own monies.
Okay. So
The
it's
city
500.
part is $500,000.
Okay.
This is total grant, right?
Yes. And it just depends on who applies. We can get up to that. If not enough people apply, it won't be that much, but it is grant money. Are there any other questions? If not, can I get a motion to pass?
I make a motion we approve resolution 2/3/2015.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Up next, I'm gonna let Chief Moore speak to y'all just a moment. We got a
You need the report now too, Mayor. Is it-
no, let's go ahead and take care of this first.
After much consideration on our applications for full-time police officer, I'd like to recommend and try to get approval to hire Justice Perry Doe as a full-time officer for the city of Erin.
Does anybody have any questions about that? Or he is in the audience here. He's sitting here tonight.
Raise your hand.
Can I get a motion?
I make a motion that we hire Justice Perry Doe.
Second that motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, you can go ahead and do the police
Thank
report,
y'all
sir.
very much. I'm sorry I was running behind. They'll need these reports out in time. For the month of January 2015, here in the police department, answered a total of 256 calls of service. Our citations, we issued 106 citations. Now, I think I stated to you last month, that's what we issued in December, and because we didn't have court, that number stayed the same. So we had court for January, so that stayed the same. There's the revenue for the month for those citations. We made 15 arrests, 5 of those driving on suspended license, 2 domestic assaults, harassment, child neglect, 2 drug paraphernalia, 2 possession of Schedule 2 drugs, and 1 aggravated burglary and 1 theft. On our accidents, we had 7 accidents, and I know every month I come in here and tell y'all how many we've had, and it seems like a lot, but I broke it down there, that way y'all know how many's on the roadway and how many's not. 5 of those 7 was in parking lots.
Parking lots are dangerous.
Yes, ma'am. A lot of hidden objects in parking lots. I'm sorry getting those out to you so late. Any questions on those? You need a few minutes to look over them. Thank you. Thank you,
You're
Mayor.
welcome. Danny, you have a fire report for us, sir?
One of those chiefs on the bottom, I don't. Last month, City of Erin Fire Department answered 11 calls. Pretty well 11 of those were within 9 days, so it was a very busy week and a half for us. 1 wreck, 6 brush fires, 3 brush fires, 1 gas leak. This last weekend, we also completed an 8-hour engineer class, 7 adult firefighters did. The class was taught by retired Loudoun County, Virginia Fire Lieutenant John Early. Really the only thing I have going on with the fire department right now is awaiting the ISO grading, and I'm waiting for a preliminary grade, which will give us an idea of what we will be later this year. And that could take up to 6 months to a year to actually take effect. So.
That ISO is what is the insurance?
The majority of your insurance companies use the ISO rating to basically set your premiums that you pay. Currently, we're at a 6, hoping to go to a 5. So the lower it is, less the taxpayers pay. Any questions? Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead just let the board know Mr. Barry Cotton with Signature Healthcare has provided the police department with a brand new bulletproof vest. That's a very expensive item that we're not going to have to purchase now. He couldn't make it down here tonight, so he's going to plan on being back next month as board to present it to us. But I just wanted, if y'all see him out, let him know we appreciate it. I expressed it as much as I could. Not only say to me, but just with the board as well. So, thank you.
All right. That being said, can I get a motion to adjourn, and then as soon as we adjourn, we can swear in the new officer. If you
Who made the motion to adjourn?
Maybe wait till next month, swear him in, give him the opportunity to have the rest of his family here and have him in uniform.
Okay.
That's okay.
That's okay. I mean, you know.
Unless he wants to do it. No. It's up to you guys. I mean, we can.
No, I mean, if you would like to have the rest of your family here, I don't have a problem with it.
I'm sure one of my department members, so I'm gonna give him an opportunity to do it.
Okay.
If that's suits the board.
So does he work until then? Just does he stay as a reserve until then?
No, he can take an oath, but formally, as far as getting and taking oath and stuff, I'd like to do that.
He also has to give 2 weeks' notice where he is.
Yeah, he'll have to work on those, but for sure. No big problem.
Question before we adjourn.
Okay.
How many reserve officers do you have?
He had,
too, or do you still have to?
I've got another one to look at. We'll have to go through some applications. I generally have applications on file for those, so.
Can you provide us with a list next time on your report?
Did you have a question? Okay, you had a question for him. I thought you had another question. I'm sorry. All right, we have a motion made by Neffler. Do we have a second to adjourn? All right, we'll get out of here. Thank you.